welcome to this training capsule. Today we're going to tackle a topic that I know can be quite a challenge, teaching how to wait. For many of our children, waiting can feel like an impossible mission, and sometimes it feels the same way for us too, right? But don't worry, I'm here to share some practical strategies that you can use at home, in the classroom, or during therapeutic sessions. The key is to adapt these strategies to the development stage of each child. We'll be working with 3 language development profiles, those in the preverbal stage, those in the early communication phase, and finally, children who are in the advanced communication phase. For each profile, I'll show you how to teach waiting in a fun and effective way, using not just music, but also other tools to make this task a little easier. Profile 1, preverbal stage. For children who are not yet using words to communicate, but respond well to sounds, gestures, and visual cues, we need to get really creative. The important thing here is to use clear signals, both auditory and visual. At home, we can use something as simple as a visual card that shows a raised hand to indicate wait. We can pair this with a simple song, like the VICON method song, or you create your own song to work with this ability. I promise that after hearing that song 100 times a day, it'll be your household anthem. The good thing is that this repetition helps children associate this song with the act of waiting. In the classroom, children can move while a song is playing, but when the music stops, they have to stay still until it starts again. This is a movement and pause game that keeps them engaged while they learn to control their impulses. Teachers can use gestures or visual cards to reinforce the pause, whatever works for the group. In therapy, we can incorporate a soft bell or light to signal when it's time to wait. For example, the therapist can play a drum and at certain moments ring a bell or turn off a light to indicate a pause. This way, the child learns to wait in a more structured way with clear signals. Profile 2, early communication stage. For children who are starting to use words or simple sounds, we can introduce the concept of taking turns more explicitly. At home, something that works really well is the turn-taking game. For example, if you're eating or tidying up toys, you can take turns while singing a song. Now you, now me. This gives them a clear structure of when they should act and when they should wait. Plus, it's always fun to make mom or dad follow the waiting rule too, even though we know adults are often the least patient ones, right? In the classroom, we can use call and response songs. The idea is for children to wait their turn to sing or play an instrument. Patience is definitely tested here, because they have to listen and wait for their name to be called, or for a signal to tell them it's their turn to act. And since there are more children in the classroom, waiting becomes even more challenging. In therapy, we can use a visual timer, like a hourglass or a color-changing timer. This is super helpful because it lets children see how much time is left before it's their turn to participate. Something as simple as saying, "Let's wait until the clock turns green," can make a big difference in how they perceive waiting. Profile 3, advanced communication stage. For children who are in a more advanced communication stage, where they use sentences and understand more complex concepts, we can work on waiting in a more structured way. At home, we can use the concept of verbal anticipation. For example, if you're preparing dinner, you can say, "We're going to wait until the bell rings." The idea here is for the child to understand that there's a clear end to the waiting, which helps them feel more secure. And of course, you can accompany it with a song like, "We'll wait until," and you can finish the phrase depending on the situation. In the classroom, an effective strategy is to use songs with verbs and choruses. The children can move during the verb, but they must wait until the chorus to act. This helps them understand the parts of a song and when it's time to act or stop, making it easier to teach waiting in a group setting. In therapy, we can do role-playing games like stimulating a real-life situation where the child has to wait their turn to participate. For example, in an activity where they pretend to stand in line, the child can visually see other children waiting for their turn, reinforcing the idea that everyone has to wait their turn to participate. We can use visual cues here too, like a traffic light to show them when they should wait and when they can act. Now I want to talk about something that can be really helpful for everyone. Ideas from practical materials that you can make at home, in the classroom, or during therapeutic sessions. I know that sometimes just saying wait isn't enough. We need a little more visual support for our children, right? So I'm going to share some resources you can easily create or reinforce the concept of waiting in a visual and fun way. These materials are super simple, and the best part of it, you can make them yourself. With a bit of creativity, I'm sure they will be really helpful in all those environments where waiting is needed. Let's take a look at some of these ideas. Wait and act cards. One of the most beautiful ideas is to create visual cards. On one side, you can make a card with a raised hand to indicate wait, and on the other, one with an action symbol, like a child running or playing a drum. These cards are perfect for use in movement activities or games, where you can show the wait card to pause the activity and the act card so the child knows when to move. For example, you're playing at home and suddenly you put out the wait card. Everyone freezes. And when you show the act card, the actions starts again. This isn't just fun. It helps children visually understand when it's time to wait and when to act. A visual traffic light. Another easy to make resource is a visual traffic light with 3 colors: red for waiting, yellow to get ready, and green to act. You can make this traffic light with construction paper or even recycled materials you have at home. It's an excellent tool for both group and individual activities, and you can use it to help children see when they need to wait and when it's their turn to act. For example, you can use the traffic light in the classroom for group activities. When the children see the red light, they know they need to wait. Yellow tells them they're about to act, and green means go. It's perfect to clearly and visually structuring moments of waiting. An hourglass with visual timer. You can also create an hourglass with a visual timer featuring red, yellow, and green colors that gradually change to show how much time is left before it's the child's turn. You can use any visual timer or make one with a little creativity. This will help children understand the concept of waiting time in a progressive way. For example, imagine you're in a therapy session and the child needs to wait their turn to participate in an activity. You can use a visual timer or a house glass that changes from red to green. When the timer turns green, it's time to act. It really helps children see how much time is left before they can join in. With these practical material ideas, you can make teaching the concept of waiting more visual, accessible, and fun. They are not only easy to create, but also help children visualize the idea of waiting, making it much easier for them to learn. So let's get to work and make the process of waiting a little more enjoyable for everyone.